idea how to fix that problem.
Or more. All right, I'm proud and happy to introduce our speakers today, Deb Christensen and Samantha O'Kelly, who are going to talk to us about greening Vermillion.
Go ahead. She did all the work, so I'm just going to stand up here and be supportive.
Thanks. So I'm Samantha O'Kelly. I'm married to your treasurer. So, and I'm from Greening Vermillion. I'm the treasurer right now for Greening Vermillion. And I'm not just going to talk about Greening Vermillion. We have a big, exciting week coming up, Earth Days. So I'll mostly talk about Earth Days. And Deb's been involved in some planning of that, so she's up here to help me as well. And I just will go over briefly what Greening Vermillion does, so we'll talk a little bit about that. And then we'll look at the events for the Earth Days week. And then lastly, I'll have a little call of action for you guys. But first I wanted to talk about our poster this year. So it really just has this QR code or the link to our website. That's where you can get all the schedule information. In the past, we've had posters that had a lot of stuff listed, so they were really hard to read. And last year we summarized some of it, and there was some jealousy. Like we highlighted people that
we shouldn't, or yeah.
I don't know. People were upset. So now it's just on the QR code, so we're not playing favorites to anybody. So, okay, I think that's all I want to say about that one. This is our current board of directors for Greening Vermillion. So it's a community organization that works closely with the USD Sustainability Department. And we work mostly on 3 main campaigns. Earth Days is one of our big ones, and then Adopt a Drain, but I'm not going to talk a lot about that one. I'll be back later to give you all the details for that. And we've added bicycling. So I think Kelvin, who's our newest member, he's come to Rotary because we said, you know, like you guys are into bicycle helmets and stuff. So he visited. So that's kind of our 3 main things. And just Earth Days in general, we partner with other community groups. We don't put on all of the events. We remind people that Earth Day is coming and maybe they want to organize something, and we'll promote it for them. So that's kind of mainly what we do is put it on our website, pay for our website, make the posters, you know, the design and things like that, and kind of get the word out there. So
I think over the years too, like events have been added just because of getting people aware of what Earth Days is all about.
Yeah. So I'll start with just going over some of the schedule. So Monday, April 21st, we're going to kick it off with a book discussion, Brave the Wild River, at the library. So the library has some books that you can check out. I personally listened to this book, and it's a really good audiobook. I don't think I would have been into it as much, but the actor's really good on it, or the reader. I don't know what you call the audiobook person, but she did a really good job. So, but it was pretty exciting just listening to it. This was before a lot of course, the, you know, Lake Mead was in place, but some of the other dams on the Colorado River were not in place when these ladies went down and did the botany of the river. So it was an exciting trip. And then Tuesday, April 22nd, this is actual Earth Day, right? So there's quite a few items. There's some things at the university. So become a binfluencer. I don't know. I think you got to be a college student to understand exactly what that is, but but it'll be there, and it's with Millennium Recycling, and they'll also be on the USD campus talking about what to put in the campus recycling and what not to. So I don't know that it applies to all of our recycling, but definitely the campus. And that's open to everybody to attend that. The Rain in the Jar at the Vermillion Public Library, that's for kids. So, you know, you could maybe bring kids or grandkids or what have you, but I don't know that you'd enjoy it just as an adult.
Just going back to the Binfluencer, I just know Anna Moore on your board, she was a graduate student in the sustainability program at USD and now works, actually then she worked for Sodexo, but now she's back teaching at the sustainability program. I have learned more about recycling from Anna than, I assumed it was a very simple thing. It's not. It has everything to do with what you can actually, what we bring to the recycling center, you know, either like your bins that you put out, or if you bring glass to them, and if they can or can't sell it. And that's why you have to, you know, all the numbers on there, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they only take 1s and 2s, is because there is no market for the 3, 4s, and 5s. And so, or, you know, learning that Vermillion doesn't do single stream like Yankton does, and actually there's a lot less waste when you don't do single stream. And what that means is your recycling bin, you just throw everything in there. And so much stuff gets contaminated by doing single stream that actually more of it ends up in the landfill than what you would really want. And so just learning, going to something like this is very helpful to just learn all the little ins and outs about how recycling works in our community.
Like, how clean does your stuff really have to be before it gets recycled or just thrown out? So I think that's one of the things that the Inside Look is going to be lecturing about, like peanut butter jars. Like, does it have to be clean, or can you have some residue? So it'll go into that.
Cardboard would be another thing. If it's full of pizza grease, they don't want it. Or if it's, you know, too shiny, there's all kinds of things that you can learn.
Yep. And then the Bees and Barbecue, that is another partnering with the public library. They're putting it on, and it's actually part of Ollie. So that's in the evening, and it's right before Earth Day's trivia. So go have some barbecue, go to trivia.
Yeah.
And you want to make any comments about trivia? I know you've gone to that.
It's way fun.
So.
I heard the person doing the Bees and Barbecue presentation is fantastic.
Oh.
Oh, is it Dan? Oh, yay.
Do we have to sign up for it, Dan?
Yeah, do all that.
Okay.
Okay.
So I kind of want to go to that one, so I'll have to sign up. April 23rd on Wednesday, Teen Takeover. I guess they're painting the ceiling tiles in the library. So that's for teens. So I encourage your teens to go to that, but we probably won't attend. And then Dreaming of a Better World, that's a movie. And there will be some people from that Better Farm that will be at the theater to ask questions afterwards. So that seems like it'll be a good event too. And that's put on by the farmers market. So I don't have a lot more information than that on it. And then city cleanup details to be determined. I don't have any more on that one either. So
Kind of weather permitting.
yeah, we'll have to check the QR code out for that to see if we get any updates on that. Obviously this picture's an old one, but that's what we'll look like cleaning up the city. And then April 24th, the community garden is putting on a composting kind of clinic. So it'll be outside. The picture just had, you know, compost on it.
Mike, do you have anything to do with that? Nope. Okay.
No. So they're meeting at the compost bin near the community garden and learning compost for beginners. And they said, we will also have a composting activity if you would like to bring 1 cup of vegetable scraps. I don't know what that means, but sounds fun. And then Friday, the 25th, here on campus at the Muck will be the Earth Day fair and clothing swap, and actually on the next slide, I'll talk about that in more details. We are a little biased on some of the ones that Greening Vermillion puts on, but, and then there's kind of a lot to do. Planting with a purpose. In this one, I found out the VFW has sponsored some of that, and that's also with the public library as well. April 25th is also Arbor Day, so we got some tree things going on, planting trees and that kind of thing. So one at Barstow Park, and it's in celebration. A catalpa tree will be honorarily planted for all second graders in Vermillion. So those are good ones if you just want to observe, I think. As well as tree planting at the USD Campus North Complex. And we have a link on the website to understand about the tree landscaping ordinance. It links you to the city, so that we're not breaking any rules, right, John? And knowing more like, you know, what we should plant or what we shouldn't, that kind of thing. So I just wanted to kind of emphasize the Earth Day Fair. You know, it's at the Muck, but I put our lovely Grace Freeman up there so that you guys know it's for all of us. So, you know, stop by the Muck, and it's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And there's a lot of activities, including the clothing swap. So one thing with the clothing swap is if you're doing your spring cleaning, donate your clothes to the clothing swap. It's a way for students, they can just come and take clothes if they need something or want to try something. And it keeps, you know, just our circular economy, keeps it out of the landfill.
And
So-
it's actually very well attended.
Yes. So, and it's not just students that go there, and you can drop off the clothes. There will be boxes at the Muck or the day of if you go there for the fair.
I volunteer to drive to your house. We have got clothing, particularly dressy clothing, you can wear to a job review. I'll come get them.
Yeah, and they do typically partner with Charlie's Closet for students graduating, going to interviews and stuff like that, so. All right. So Saturday, lots of overlapping things, lots going on. And the next slide, we have Party for the Planet.
Yeah.
Deb knows all about that, so we'll highlight that. But we have the sidewalk art community painting day out at Prentice Park. And it's for all talent levels and age groups and everything. So that one looks like it'll be fun as well. The nature play at the WH Over, that looks like it's kind of for kids. And it's just outdoor activities with crafts and games using natural materials, weather permitting. And then the community garden is gonna have their spring cleanup. And Kelvin from Greening Vermillion is gonna have a bike repair workshop at the plots, and if it's rainy or something, then we'll go to the 4-H building. That one I think will be good, just learning how to maintain your bike, so. And we'll go to the next one.
Okay, so yes, farmer's market every year, well, for the last, what, this is the 4th year maybe? The farmer's market goes from 10 to 1 at the 4-H building, and they have been, even if it didn't fit, you know, for their week, they have been very generous to like add a week or change it so that we could host our Party for the Planet. And this is a plant-based meal that is free to anyone who wants to partake. And they have a lot of other things that are lined up, not only just the farmer's market being there, you know, all of the regular things, but I know in the past they've had the Ponca.
Yeah,
Ponca
snakes and stuff.
Yeah, snakes. Oh, my grandkids love it. Yeah. And they've had like an art project for the kids. So a lot of fun for like adults just to come shop, do your thing, but there are activities for the kids as well.
And I think the you know, normal attendees of the farmer's market, the vendors, they really make an effort to come to this one because they know there's going to be a lot of people coming for the other things that are going on. So I mean, it seems like there's a lot more stuff at the farmer's market for this one too.
Yeah,
so.
it's, right, yeah. It's a fun event, so come out, if nothing else, just to grab a free lunch and take a look at what all the farmer's market has to offer.
Yeah, it's a fun one. Do you have the meal?
I do.
Oh.
It's very traditional this year. We're doing vegetarian hot dogs. Now, don't go like, because they're actually very tasty. Baked beans, potato chips, and coleslaw, and then cookies. So
Okay.
lemonade, it'll be very traditional this year.
Nice. And then Sunday, April 27th, preparation for painting. So that's preparation for painting the storm drains for Adopt a Drain. So it's for people with no artistic talent, right? So a way to participate. We'll be cleaning up some of the drains that the paintings have kind of worn off. You know, sometimes they don't make it through the winter. So power tools, cleaning off those drains, priming the drains, and then the drains that still look good, we'll seal them. So it depends on how many people show up for that.
Although we did, about a month ago, was it, Kevin, that we all went on, we looked to see what the status was, like, and there's only a couple of them that really needed some help, and those were actually a few years old.
Yep.
And then after we got a rain, all of the ones that we, had moved all of the dirt off of them, and then we got a nice rain, and they all look very nice and bright. So,
Nice and shiny.
I think they should, with an extra coat of seal, last another couple of years.
Yeah, we've been experimenting with priming them first and sealing them, and yeah, we're getting them to last a little longer, so. Also, there's a mending circle, so, another way to keep your clothes out of the landfill, mending them, and it's at the library, so just learning some techniques for mending and, working together. So bring your clothes to that one they want you to do, so. And then there's a couple other things just throughout the week. The Civic Council has creative reuse and recycling, and it's, I'm just gonna read it to you. Visit the Civ to see their displays of creative ways to reuse glassware, china, etc. into garden whimsies. So they'll have that information and, donate materials, books, magazines, that kind of thing. And they'll have it on their calendar in the store and on Facebook. So kind of upcycling glassware and stuff to make those items. And you'll also get a discount if you bring your own bag to use to shop at the Civ. So also the story walk at Prentice Park, so the library puts that on, and it's just like a storybook walk through the park, so that's kind of neat too. This year is Blossom and Bud, and it's kind of about positive body image, but it's like some plants, so I guess that's how they loosely related that to Earth Days. And we usually have all our events are free, but this one is just some businesses have put some things out for promotion. So the Civic Council, obviously you'll get a discount if you bring your own bag. And then the tattoo store is doing an Arbor Day kind of event. So get a tree tattoo. They have ones that will be temporary, but I think you can get a real tattoo too, which I kind of feel like that makes Earth Days a little cooler, not quite so nerdy as it has been in the past, get your tattoo. And then, just something interesting, Kevin got a newsletter from Maloney Real Estate, and they had all kinds of Earth Days stuff in there. There wasn't a specific link or anything, and they had a nice theme name to it that didn't come from us. But it's just an idea. I mean, we're involved in organizations, businesses. Maybe you want to promote Earth Days on your newsletter if you have one or what have you. So if you want our poster, let Kevin know and we'll get it out to you. Previous years, I've asked for you guys to volunteer for events. I think we're kind of set, but this would be like your call to action, like if you want to get involved, maybe promote Earth Days a little bit. Or maybe next year want to host something, support something. And I just wanted to thank you all because Rotary does donate. So thank you for, your continued support of Earth Days and Adopt a Drain.
See, my name is Ted Miller, and I've been in construction and destruction my whole life. If you want to see the biggest remodeling or recovery job in town, the Jolly School, the only thing they're not recycling is the air. What a job. They're saving everything and recycling it all. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, it's much more impactful than our household recycling, so, yep. So I'm just putting the poster up here again, so you can scan the QR code and get to the full schedule of events. And again, let Kevin know if you want the poster to promote it on your own in a newsletter or what have you. So that's all I have. You guys have been asking questions throughout, but any questions?
Kind of relates at the same time, but our household hazardous waste collection is Friday, May 2nd.
Okay.
Afterwards, but
And I think typically, in years past, we've included that.
Yeah.
It's always been sort of after, but,
it depends when we get the vendor.
right.
This year will be May 2nd, Vermillion Rotary.
Okay.
And I want to say it's either 3 to 5 or 4 to 6. I think it's 3 to 5.
Okay.
We're there at 4 to 6.
We can add that to our calendar as well, so.
Correct.
Okay.
Thanks, John.
And where it is it still at the, okay, okay. Very good. Any other questions or? Okay, well, thank you guys for your time again this year, so.
All right, thank you both.